Yeah, hello. Hello.
I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm saying that with the pivot table, right? With the pivot table, we don't do much analysis, even though we do some calculations behind, right? But not at this level. So at this level, after you know how to exploit the auto-suggested ones by Excel, Excel has the best intelligence to give you the best data aggregation, right? But if you are not pleased with what Excel has given you, based on your business questions or an analytics objective, then you must go to the extent of using or engineering your analysis, right? Giving it the exact criteria values you are looking for, and it will do that for you. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question?
No, we can continue.
All right. Okay. So now we are going to look at how we can manually. Oh, why is this still here? Okay, so let's come here to 4. This 5, right? So what we are going to do now is to come to our insert, right? Always, this is how I usually go by mine. Oh, why? A minute. Let's make sure the pivot table is active, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm coming now. I just want my pivot table to be active, right? I'm coming. Let me save and open back.
Maybe we are supposed to be the active one. The
Yeah,
first one you create.
I want us to insert it again. So I'm coming. I think we have a data here, right? We have a data here. Let's try and use this data. I think later we'll get to that one and also continue on it from there. All right, so now we are not going to do the auto-suggested pivot table, right? So
Okay.
I always come here. So when I click on it like this, it will give me this suggestion, right? Just leave this one here and come to your table, right? When I come to my table, I automatically select everything. So you could see that here, it is giving me just table 1. Please, have you noticed that?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this location is where I want to take my pivot table to. You get it right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now, when I bring it here, I have my pivot table here. Now I have my pivot table here. Come. Oh, do you know why? Do you know why?
No.
Okay. Let's come here. Oh, no, we didn't add the model, right? The model will give
Okay.
the model will give us the space to do our editing, right? So,
So that it will be a zero problem.
yeah, exactly. I'm coming. Okay, I think that one is even working now. All right, so let me see. This one is working. Now I need to add my model, right? Come to.
So why are you adding a model right now?
He said I can add it now, and I can also add it but always it's advisable you select the data before you add the model, right? So now I have my table here, or sometimes it can give you the range, right? And I'll add my model. So once I add my model, now I'll just click on OK. Okay. So when I click on OK, this must give me the model space over here. Why is this not giving me the model? Let me rectify this mistake. Is it by my SL? Let me try the other one and see how it goes. Hello. Yeah. Oh, why is it not giving me the model?
This one, I didn't even select the location.
You said I did.
I did because of the existing one.
Let me see. No, I think I worked on something this afternoon, but I don't know why it's not giving me the model. I'm coming on.
Maybe try to type something to see.
No. Always it should give me the model here. It should give me the model here by default. Because it's the model that I will use to build the report. Let me rectify this mistake before, because if someone encountered, okay, this one is here. Please, this one is here. Okay, I guess it might be an issue with my, I should have restarted my laptop, right? I should have restarted my laptop, right? So now over here, you can see your, the pivot table fields over here. So this table, pivot table fields will give you the entire columns of the data, right? Like we have over here, right? Like we have over here. When you look at this, you have 4 boxes here. So now you have the rows, you have the columns, you have the values, and you have the filter, right? We are going to look at the rows and the values at the moment. And we will use the columns to do something we called subqueries, right? Subqueries. So now with the column, what are we looking at? We are looking at, what data is this? Okay, so the column, we are looking at the names of the reps, right, over here. We're looking at the names of the reps. So now just highlight your rep over here, right? Click on the right side of the mouse and drag it to the rows, right? Drag it to the rows. So please, the rows will now give you the row column, right? In a natural sense, more or less like your column, but this one is in a row. So don't take it to the column section over here. Now, if we want to compare the, I'm saying that if you pick your, okay, so let's try here. If you pick the string data you are looking at, right, and you bring it to column, it will give you something like this. In pivot table, your row becomes your column, and your column becomes your row.
It comes in the vice versa.
Vice versa. Thank you. You understand it. So now, since we don't need it, you come and I think I have issue with my Excel because I've not restarted my machine, right? That's why it will give you a chance to remove all the data fields you've added over here, right? All the data fields, so you can see that it is here, right? Now take it back,
Okay.
right? Here is it. You take it back. Here, you take it back. You remove the fields over here, right? Now we don't have any field over here. So we are going to do it again. So now we remove our rep here. So we just take our rep back to our rows. Now we want to look at the total units sold, right? The total unit cost sold. Or maybe if we just want to look at his total, right? The total that he has. Yeah, the sales that he has made. Just pull it, drag it to the values, right? And it will give you the sum total values of what.
Can you do it again for me to see?
All right. So now let me come here and let me check something here. So now let's look at something. We did this with the sum function, right?
Yeah, with the sum function.
With the sum function for all.
Yeah.
And now we are using a pivot table to summarize our data, right? And in summing our data up for each salesperson, we got the same thing, or we had the same sum total for that.
Okay.
You understand?
So with this one, it sum up all the sales made by the reps, and then give us the total. I just did it for the sum total.
Yes, please. You could see that the moment we are looking at the salespeople or the salesperson, right, it has applied unique and remove all duplicated values from it for us.
Yeah.
Right. So if we want to believe that our pivot table is working, right, for my Excel, I'll use the unique function, right? And maybe you may use the remove duplicate or here. So how many people? How many sales people over here? So 1, right? 1, 2. So if I select this and 1, 2, how many people do we have? We have 10, right? We have 10 people over here. Let's come and check.
I think that James was having a duplicate in those.
This one, is there a duplicate here? There's no duplicate here. Now,
I'm talking about
the data. So meaning that some of the salespeople were supervising or either managers for 2 or 3 regions, right? Or maybe in a region, the person is taking care of 2 or 4 shops of the same company.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes.
All right. So now this is what we can use the sum total to achieve. If we want to know the maybe total cost sold, right? Or we want to know the units sold by each, right? Since the units or the quantity is in int data type, we will take it to the values, right? So now we have our, so Dinah sold how many items? 89 items.
89 items.
Right. And now if we are asked to find the salesperson that made the most sales, right? I think we may get somebody here like 322, right? So we come to the
sorting out.
Yes, please. We come to the sorting and the rearranging and stuff. But now we are looking at our normal analysis, data aggregation.
Okay.
Right. So in this case, I want to add something called subqueries, right?
Okay.
I want to do something called we are not looking at subqueries now, as it can confuse what we are doing. So let's try the pivot table 1 or 2 thing. Then we look at how to play with it, right? As basic analyst. So now the best thing to do always is to convert your, this is already in a table, right? It's already in a table. So now if we want to know only something for is it what name is this? James. Let me come to James, right? For James, we can come and sort for only James, right? So James sold 320 item and made a sales of $1,757. Yeah, dollars, right? So now if we want to apply either a currency symbol, right? You come back to your home and now you come and look for this. You come and look for the currency, right? Now, what currency are we dealing with? We are dealing with US dollars, right? Right. Come and look for the currency symbol and just click on it, and it will give you the currency you are looking for, right? If you want to add zeros, like meaning decimal numbers, right, to one decimal place, if you want to reduce it, if you want to increase it, right, you understand it.
Okay.
Are you with me? Now we can look at another pivot table. Another pivot table looking at the regions against our sum total and the unit sold, right? And you know,
do you have to create another or it will create it automatically?
Now we can add it. We can add it to whatever we are doing, right? But I want us to take it bit by bit, right? In order not to make it clumsy.
Okay.
Whoever watching the video might not be getting what is actually going on, right? Because we will close the docket of Excel next week. So okay. Now, if I'm to add the region over here, if I'm to add a region, let's create it for okay. So this is what it's going to be, right? This is how the region can. This is what we call sum query, right? Subqueries. So you could see that Diane in Western region, right, made sales of this. In I think he only made sales in Western. Darren made sales in Central. Dina, is it Diana or whatever, in Central, Holy in Central. So now this is what we call subqueries. So you could see that Mike was supervising Central.
Managing Central region, Eastern and
Western region, right? But how I did the subqueries, we are not looking at subqueries now, right? So some might not get it, right? So we are looking at normal pivot table. Right, we are looking at normal pivot table. You understand it? Okay.
Okay.
So now, and always we use string data types to do subqueries, right? We use string data types to do subqueries. So let's pick another one. Let's delete. Okay, let's add another sheet over here, and pick our. Let's go to our insert. So you are going to do this for me, right? What should I do? What should I do here?
Are we creating a pivot table? You will select your table.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then you go to your previous table, you select it, then either you use the recommended table to check up on things, or you use the modeling, pivot modeling.
Okay. So now here I come to pivot because we are not looking at recommended tables over here, right? So
yeah, so you select the table.
Okay. So what needs to be done over here?
You have a already existing sheet that you'll be sending it to, so you don't have to create a new one. Then select the existing worksheet.
Okay. So
then the model.
So what do we use the model for?
The modeling will help you to it will demarcate the places and the regions, the volume, the column, and the
it gives a copy of your data, right? To manipulate.
Okay.
Right?
To be manipulated.
Yeah, to be manipulated. So it will help your analysis and your summary, right? So it will come, right? It will come. I think there is issue with the data generation. It will come. That's 6, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's wait and oh, I don't know why it is taking so long. Because I think when we have any SL work, I need to restart
the
my
machine first.
Because for the past 3 days, I don't believe I have turned it off. Oh, what's up? Okay, so you come back to this, right? You'll come back to it and okay, I think there's one here. Okay, so I think this one is ready, right? Hello, this one is
Yeah, I'm hearing.
right. So my machine is running slow this afternoon. That's why. So this one is ready over here. So once your pivot fails, it's ready for you for your analysis. We have the table here, right? We want to know each employee and the salary the person takes. What should I do?
Employee. You select the employee's name.
Employee's name, okay.
Then you drag it to the row.
To the row, okay.
Then you go back to the salary.
Salary.
Yeah, from the table.
Okay.
And employee salary to the. Then you drag it to the values.
Values. Okay. Okay. I see. This, right. And this one, we only have one quantitative column, right? We only have one quantitative column, right? So if we want to add maybe a subquery to know each employee's designation, right? Then we can do this, right? So now know that
this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will help us know that okay, this person is an analyst, this person is a lead associate, this person is
So now if I may get it. This one shows the person's
role,
employment designation, and the salary the person takes.
Yes, please. So you realize that this was just straight the person and the salary, right?
Okay.
And we have something called subqueries. Subqueries is basically you and your subunit, right? It gives extra or extensive summary of the data.
Okay.
Do you get me? Because if we come to this table, okay, John, you have to stretch your neck, scroll to know who John is, right? But
so what about the names are more than 1,000?
What say?
I don't what about if the names are more than 1,000? How are you going to do it?
So if the names are more than 1,000, right? We still do it the same, and we use the sorting. Whoever you are looking for, you just I'm coming. So now, please, if you're adding a subquery, right? A subquery, we can add it in a horizontal or. So now let's look at the horizontal subquery and the the column subquery and rows subquery, right? So if you want to add the subquery, after you are done with the number of whatever you want to analyze, aggregating it, right? Click on it, because you've already added something to the rows, right? So you click on the rows and you come to what you want to add as a subquery, as a sub summary. Let me put it that way, right? You click on it and it gives you extensive summary. It will give you the person and the person's row. You get it? Please, is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, now let's take it out, right? Now we want to add a query to the column, right? Let's see what happens before we even explain. So this, I'm coming. So let's bring this one. Let's take this one out. The designation here. Let's bring it here and see what it's going to do. So you see, meaning that in this data, right, this type of data we have, our column as a subquery is not going to work for us, right? Do you get me? So we can this as part of our rules. We can add it to our rule as a subquery over here. So now, if we want to sort our data, we can come and sort the data by name, right? If it is long, now we can rearrange our data from the Z, that's from the bottom number or the bottom word to the first word. We can sort it from A, meaning from the list to
alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order. Please, do you get that? So over here, you can go ahead and add something we call a slicer, right? So you come to data, right? You come to data. Oh, where's my slicer?
Go to insects.
Insert there. So you come to insert, and this is my slicer, right? I'll click on my and the slicer will give me this over here. So now the slicer, what am I looking for? I'm looking for either maybe I'm just looking for the designation alone, right? And I'm looking for the name, right? So even if I don't add the subquery, I can use my slicer as a what? Subquery. So over here, you can design your slicer or your slices. I'm coming. I wanted to take this one from here. So I think there's something here, right? That will help me design my slices, right? So, but this has come.
Unless I think unless you click on it.
Yeah, no,
unless you click.
No, if I click on it, it's okay. So now I'll come here, right? If I come here to my slicer, I can add. I'm coming. Design. Oh, why is? Oh, it is giving me. I'm coming. No, today my laptop is because the design should have given me the function to design my table. So if I click on business developer and I click on Jamie, now it will show me who is a business developer.
Filter with.
Yes, please. So we use this to filter our data, right? So if I want to look for John, I'll just click on Danny alone, right? If I don't need Danny again, I'll take him out. So the question he asked that, what if the names are 1,000, right? We use slices to summarize our data more, right?
So slices we use of pivot.
What say?
Tables.
Yeah, so now let's come to our big data here, right? And add a slicer to our big data, right? Let's add a slicer to our big data. So you could see that we have a slicer over here, right? So with this slicer, we are going to use this slicer to only look for, to understand our data. So I always use slices in Excel to understand live data sets, right? Without scrolling down, scrolling top. So if I want to look for those who are business developers, I just use a slicer to click on business developer and I'll get everything here. Analysts and software engineers, right? So I'll know which group of people are more and the like. Please, do you get me? Is that clear?
So the slicer pivot table, which one is more effective if you are analyzing some things? If
pivot table. As a slicer comes in often when you are done with your pivot table, right? So you can add a slicer to enhance in interactivity, right?
Okay.
As slices only enhances interactivity. Adding more summary and description to your analysis. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now that is little about pivot tables and adding slices. So you can explore it, watch some videos and get it better. But next week we are going to eat deep down into this advanced function. And after that, we will do
when we started, we did the topic was data aggregation, descriptive statistics, and pivot tables. So what's our descriptive statistics, or it includes?
Yes, so with this one, I'm saying next week we are going to take it to the higher level, right? So now we are looking at how to describe a data in a smaller form, right? That's in a summary, using a pivot table. That's what I mean. It is a detailed area where if I'm to take it deep down, many of the people watching the video are not going to get it, right? Even in 2 or 3 weeks, right? If I'm to take it to the data science level, you get it.
Okay.
So this is foundational to open the minds of how to use this function. And next week we practicalize it deeper, right? Using business questions to guide all our analysis.
Okay.
You understand it? Okay, so let's look at the next table. Let's look at the next, because we had an analysis to do, but it's about to rain. So let's look at this. Okay, let me close everything here. All right. Okay, so we are going to work on this data to look at something on data visualization, right?
Okay.
All right. So data visualization is simply adding more visual interaction to a data, right? From mere description to seeing your data in very nice and attractive way. We have so many tools we use for data visualization, right? And some of these tools can be found at the Insert tab column. So if you come here, we have so many recommended charts, right? We use. So from line graph, bar charts, histogram, heat map, bar chart, donut chart, and so many other charts. But each chart has a way of using it, and when and where to implement or call for that graph or that chart. So we are going to use this data to just display something small and how we can interact with it. So next week, we look at it deeper. So if you are given a data like this, or you analyze a data like this, or let me try and even go back to some of our analysis, right? So we have this pivot table, right? And now we want to add data visualizations to this table. What we will do is to highlight on this data and come to the recommended chart, right? This will give you so many recommended charts to work with. So looking at this data, which graph will help us in understanding this better? So it is better we take out the subqueries from this data. Let's take the subqueries from this data. Okay, I think the model will give us a problem. So we are only going to look at the employees and their salary. Is it their salary? Yeah, their salary, right? So now let's go into the main data set.
We still have some.
Let's go to the
queries.
Okay, if you have questions, yeah, you can ask.
I said the previous one you were taking out the subqueries. I think we still have some subqueries.
So, yeah, because we want to visualize using a line chart, right? You get issues with the subqueries, right? So we are looking at the.
And I said you left out some things, you didn't clear it off.
Yes, please, because my model is taking long to display.
Okay.
That's why. So now we want to look at the employees and their salary, right? So in looking at the employees and their salary, we can use clustered column chart to look at it. But if you look at it, how do you see it? It is going to give you bars in order to indicate that, okay, this person is taking higher than this. This person is taking higher than this, right? But the question is, do you understand why you are using that chart? This is what we are going to look at, right? Now, in exploring this, this is also giving us something like this. It is giving us the names here and the salaries each and every person is taking over here. So you would. Yes, please. So the question is it appropriate to use at that point of the data you are working with, right? So we must understand the rationale behind using each chart, right? So now, from the salary and the employee name, we are going to use charts. Let's see line charts over here. What line charts do for us? Maybe it's your first time, right? This is your first time to exploit this such data, right? So now, from your layman's perception, can you interpret something like this? That's my question I'm asking.
No.
If it's difficult for you to interpret, then you ask yourself, when and can I use a line chart? And how should I use a line chart? Right. So now let's look at this. Can you say something about this if you are to use this type of graph? If you are being asked.
Yeah.
Yes, from a layman's point of view. Okay.
Yeah, because looking at the line, we have some line which portrays the person and the salary the person is taking. So at least it shows the point at which it shows the value at which the point the salary the person is taking. Looking at John, we know it's between 60,000 and 70,000.
Okay. All right. So I'm not the one. I'm not the one saying, right? I'm not the one saying. You are saying, right? This is from your own layman's understanding. So now, what we can do is to keep exploring the data, right? To keep exploring the data to understand it before we can even do any other research. Because the more you do the research, they are going to give you so many answers and interpretation altogether. So if you don't have the first-hand experience or understanding, right, you will be given stuff that you don't understand. How to implement them will become an issue for you. Please, do you get me?
Yes.
All right. So if we are to use something like this, or you can design this further, right? So please, I just want each and everyone to play with it. So you can add data labels over here. This data labels will give you names for each person. If you think it's not appropriate for you, based on the data you have, you can take your data labels over here. You can add a legend, right? So this legend will give you this. So what does this mean? If so, you can rename this to whatever you want it to be. I just want you to explore it and understand them better.